Dean says, does reducing Googlebots crawl rate affect anything negatively? The reason I'm asking is a project I've been working on in the last 4 months made a jump in SERPs in January. And the site before that date had 7,000 pages a day crawled and 600 megabytes of data downloaded. G-Analytics crawl data. Mid-January, the crawled pages data downloaded and hosting costs spiked massively to 6,000 pages per day crawled and 3.6 gigabytes of data downloaded, and that's been constant at that new rate now since mid-Jan. Traffic's up, but hosting costs have hiked massively. If that's all bot traffic, I wouldn't, Dean. I would limit that. I've never tested like reducing bot crawl rate for SEO, like if it's had an effect. But I have reduced crawl rate before because it was slamming the servers, and I did that specifically for that reason. And honestly, I never really tested that specifically for SEO purposes. Marco, that's probably more up your alley. You got any comment on that?
No, I mean, it's nothing that I've ever tested, and so I couldn't answer it properly.
Okay. I would Dean. I mean, worst thing that can happen is if you adjust your crawl rate or reduce the crawl rate, and then it affects rankings. You can always bump it back up. But I mean, if you've got Google hammering your site with that many bots, yeah, I can put a hell of a load on a server. In fact, if you're on a shared server, a lot of the times you'll end up getting suspended for that. Like they'll suspend your hosting account for that kind of stuff. I've had it happen many times. And a lot of times it's been just from like PBN sites that for some reason just got a super amount of bots come crawl it for some reason, and it ended up causing, because on PBN hosting, that type of stuff is oftentimes really overloaded IPs. So, you're sharing with hundreds of other sites. But if you're paying for the actual bandwidth usage, then I would recommend that you reduce the crawl rate. Okay.
Okay. Now let me give him a recommendation if he is going to do this, because if this is definitely G-Analytics crawl data, if it's being crawled by Google rather than other bots, like determine the source of the bots,
right?
Because a lot of them you need to block, and that's just htaccess,
spam bots,
right?
Yeah.
But if you can determine that those are good sources, and you're going to reduce the crawl rate, then I would start small and see if there's any significant changes, and continue until you see a change in ranking, a negative change, right? You may not see one. If you do, then you boost it back up, because there's no reason if you're getting good rankings, even if you have a spike in what you're paying for hosting. I mean, this is a good thing. Rankings is what you want, because that's what brings you traffic. Except that if it's not affecting your bottom line, right. Your bottom line should reflect your rankings increase and your traffic and the money that the website is making. If none of those are happening, then yeah, you have to reduce that so that you reduce costs. So be careful with whatever it is that you decide to do.
That's right. Make a small change and give it a few days. Watch everything, and then if nothing negative happened, Dean, go back and reduce the rate a little bit more, and do just like he said, do it incrementally.